Hey everyone, how are you? I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. If you're new to the channel, I'm a guy in a bucket talking about precious metals, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and get the bell notification clicked. That way you get updated with any new content. Today I'm going to be talking to you about this stuff right here, junk silver, also known as constitutional silver, also known as 90% silver. Those of you that are newer to stacking, these are basically dimes, quarters, and half dollars that are minted from 1964 and older. Those coins have 90% silver in them. The other metal is a bunch of just like copper and other junk metal, but 90% of those coins are consisting of silver. So why am I making this video? Well, a couple of reasons why. The first reason is that people love videos about constitutional silver. I don't know why, they just do. I mean, the stuff sounds awesome, right? I mean, you could just tell you're holding junk silver in your hand when you just handle it like that. Like, you can hear the sound is just different. It's just got a different sound to it, different feel. But here's the thing. Junk silver is something that is stacked by a lot of people within the stacking community. It is a staple in a lot of people's stack. This is actually going to be an area of my own stack that I'm going to focus more on in 2021, which I have talked about in a previous video. The reason why this stuff is actually good to stack, well, there's actually a bunch of reasons. One reason is that it's readily available. You can get this stuff just about anywhere. There is no shortage of this type of silver. You can get it either online, you can buy it on eBay, you can buy it from the bullion dealers, you can get it at your coin shop, you can get it at your pawn shop, you can get it from different sellers on different peer-to-peer selling apps. This stuff is really easy to find. But that's one of the reasons why people do like it, is because it is just so available. The other thing too about this is that it's recognizable, not even so much like the peace dollars or Morgan dollars, but you have more people, especially the younger people within the stacking community and just the general population, who don't really know a lot about stacking or what have you, but they do know what a half dollar looks like for the most part, and they know what quarters look like, and dimes, obviously. So these coins are very recognizable. Why is that important? Well, the one reason why it's important is if there ever, God forbid, happens to be an SHTF situation. I'm not one of these individuals that subscribes to this. There are a lot of people that think that there is going to be an SHTF scenario. For those of you that don't know what SHTF means, it's basically meaning poop hitting the fan. But basically, there are people within the stacking community who think that things are going to get so bad that we are going to need to use silver and gold as a means for bartering and trading, buying and selling of different goods and services. Personally, I do not think we are ever going to get into that type of scenario where things are going to be so bad that you're going to have to actually go to your local market and just give them dimes and quarters and what have you that are in silver as a way to pay for things. I think, if anything, in the event that there is an SHTF situation, people are going to be bartering food, water, toilet paper, guns, ammo, things like that. Not so much paying for things in silver and gold. I think that once you do start to get into a scenario where you're going to be using silver and gold as a currency, I think that things are going to be stabilized at that point, in which there probably will just be a different type of currency. But I don't think we'll ever be using silver and gold as a means of bartering and trading and buying and selling of goods and services. But in the event that that happens, there are people that think that because this stuff is recognizable, that people are going to be more accepting of these coins when it comes time to buying and selling of different items. I think this is such a far-fetched reason to own this type of silver, but there are people that believe this, so whatever. There's one reason for you. The more popular reasons for owning this stuff is that it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than, let's say, some of your run-of-the-mill, I guess these aren't really necessarily run-of-the-mill coins, but your bullion coins, your 3 9s and 4 9s fine silver coins, these command a much higher premium than this stuff here. Why is that? Well, this stuff is brilliant, uncirculated, and is meant to be collected. This stuff is actually stuff that's been around for many years, and it's been in circulation. It's all dinged up and scratched and It's got grime and gunk on it. People call it patina. I call it dirt and grime and germs. But this stuff has been circulated. It's worn down. I've done a video where I'm comparing the amount of silver weight in mercury dimes, which are right here. I'll take one of these out for you, versus Roosevelt dimes. And, it's just, come on. There. So that's a Merc dime. This stuff is more worn down. If I were to take, let's find a Roosevelt dime. This isn't exactly the best example, but oftentimes when you are given the option of buying Merc dimes and Rosie dimes, usually these have a little bit more weight to them than the Merc dime. So oftentimes people will opt to buy their junk silver in Roosevelt dimes than Merc dimes because of the silver content. People will buy the Merc dimes if they're like brilliant uncirculated and they haven't really lost a lot of weight to them. But by and large, if you're just buying off of a website and you're given the option between either of the two, you're probably better off going for the Roosevelt dimes. But anyhow, so this stuff is worn down. I mean, like, look at this one. This one's been in the toilet, it looks like, right? This stuff is worn down, beat up, scratched, and what have you. But because of that, that's why this stuff commands a lower premium. The other reason that I think that these are just a good way of stacking, again, aside from that low premium, is it's a way to dollar cost average down your overall stacking weight. Your overall dollar cost average for your silver and gold is something that you should be keeping track of as you are buying. If you haven't been doing this, I think that you should kind of go back, look at your purchases, and try to get some sort of system in order. But this is another way to help lower your overall cost average for silver. So I think that this is something that you should be considering when you are buying. Now, for me, how much should you actually own? I think that you should have a minimum, at the very least, $100 in face value. If you basically look at the conversion right now between the dollar and the junk silver, I think right now on average you're paying around 19.5 to 20 times face value. So what that means is basically for every $1 of junk silver, you're actually going to be paying around $19.50 to $20 for those coins. So it's gone up in price significantly, but again, you have to remember that it's because it contains 90% silver. So you do have a lot of precious metal in it, and that is why it commands that kind of premium on it. Again, it's lower than your American Silver Eagle and collectible stuff like these, but it's definitely something that you want to be buying more of. Now, right here is a good amount of constitutional silver that makes up a good part of my stack. This right here, my overall junk silver stack, I should say. I don't have that much. I have a little bit over $100 personally. I think that that's not nearly enough. My problem is that over the course of the year 2020, I bought a lot more gold than I did silver. In fact, I sold off a lot of my silver and used a lot of those proceeds to buy more gold coins. And I did this because this stuff can become cumbersome. Again, you can pack a lot more wealth into, gold coins than you can silver, but it's a good way to have fractional silver at a lower cost. If you do want to start stacking this, it's a good way to save your money. Plus, it's a way that you can sell off silver if you need dollars in the future. You could sell some of it off. You don't have to be selling off entire ounces. You could be selling off fractional pieces. There's a lot of good reasons to have junk silver in your stack. The other thing too is that when you are stacking your junk silver, I do recommend that you have some sort of system in place to kind of keep track of how much you have. I did mention that you should have some sort of spreadsheet system to keep track of your overall stack. But when it comes to like your actual coins, instead of just throwing them loose in a bag or in a treasure chest Yankee stacking, you should put them in like Ziploc baggies like this, or you could put them in tubes such as these tubes that you see here. It just keeps track of things a little bit easier. This is about $5 of Roosevelt dimes. I actually gave away a bunch recently, but I like to put a lot of my silver, my junk silver, in Ziploc bags, and I write down in a Sharpie how much. So this is $20 face value. This is all in quarters. What is this? $10 in dimes, and this is a variety of dimes. You can see I have Mercs, and I do have Roosevelt dimes in there as well. $15 in quarters, dimes, and I'm probably going to change up my method of how I'm actually stacking because it's kind of getting all jumbled up. What do we have here? $10 face value of doo-doo quarters, right? But you can see here that I have sort of like a system, right? $5 in dimes. And what I do is I keep all of these bags of coins and I stick them into this burlap bag here, or this canvas sack here. I'll probably move away from this. Right now it fits better in where I'm storing it, but I'll probably move to more of an organized system like tubes. But I do think that for this coming year, people think that silver is going to hit $30 or more per ounce, being that seems to be a general consensus or gut feeling that a lot of stackers have. You might want to start looking at constitutional silver as a lower cost alternative. That is, again, one of the reasons I'm going to be moving more into junk silver as opposed to so much this type of stuff in 2021. However, I still will be focusing mainly on gold, but I do think that stacking this stuff here is crucial. You should have some of it in different denominations. Dimes happen to be my favorite because just because they are more fractional, gives you a little bit more flexibility in case there is like an SHTF scenario. Also, when it comes to selling, you can sell it off a little bit easier, I think. So I prefer to go for the dimes. There really isn't a big difference between buying dimes or dollars when it comes to buying junk silver in terms of premiums. The only thing that really will affect the premiums is the condition of the coins. If stuff is slick, like these barber dimes here are kind of slicked down, these are going to be less expensive than if you were to be buying stuff that was brilliant uncirculated. And again, that's because the brilliant uncirculated stuff has more weight to it, so you get a little bit more silver there, and therefore you're going to be paying more. Should you buy one over the other? No, I don't think so. I think you should buy whatever is going to be the best deal for you. I think if you're able to get some that are cull or damaged at relatively low prices, I think you should pick that stuff up. Again, this is just like your down and dirty stack of silver coins that you're just getting for the cheap and for the bulk weight of it. Then that's it. Not for collecting or anything like that. So anyway, what are some of the reasons that you like stacking this stuff? Put your comments down below. Let us all know. And I just want to quickly thank these elite channel supporters. And if you haven't become a channel member, please check out the awesome perks and join today. With that, I'm the Stacking Stormtrooper. Check out these videos. Until next time, long live the Empire.